There you go.
Yeah, it took me a minute to find it.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We got a really big show here. It's Tom and Barry.
Yeah, and we're celebrating the 82 degrees in New Orleans and 80 degrees in Washington.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Really big show. We don't know where everybody's at, but that's all right. Hey,
Hey, you got the two guys, so that's all you need.
that's it.
So what was it
Hey,
like?
two's company, three's a sandwich.
Yeah, so 75. So hey,
Hey, there's the third person.
How you doing, guys?
We got a
it's real
shallow
good.
crowd today. We're glad to see you. Me and Tom will get tired of looking at each other.
Well, Kent's not coming. His wife's having problems. Emily's going to some opera thing. Billy's going to be late. David Krippner's going waiting for the dentist, so he's not coming.
Kent's wife is sick.
Oh yeah, okay. He didn't tell me that one, but probably. So what's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm doing good, as they
Back
say,
in
sitting on
back
top of
in
the world.
Pittsburgh now. Hey,
There's
Dave.
Billy.
Hello.
Oh man, now we get back to normal.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everybody
Billy.
back to normal. Okay. Now I got it late. I was helping my grandkids' school do their um, spring Easter party.
Ooh, you a nice
Yeah.
man. You a nice man.
You were the
Yeah.
Easter Bunny.
Yeah. Well, I had to go hide about 1 million eggs and ride herd on kids. They had everybody write their kids' names on these eggs and hide them all over the field. And some kids are walking around. I can't find my eggs. I can't. Yeah. Anyway, it was fun. Um, I got tired. I'm tired of Easter egg hunting already. Uh,
Okay,
yeah,
well, Bill, Dave's not coming. He's waiting for the dentist. Kent's having his wife's having a problem, so he's not coming. Um, Emily's going to some opera thing,
yeah. I saw her message earlier.
and so it's just us.
We can do a quartet. You know,
Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose.
Light a rose,
Sun back
I'm
in the
home again,
sky.
rose, to bring the sun back to the sky.
Well, Roger's probably going to be here because he sent some pictures today.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Well, yeah, Chris, did you manage to record anything while you were in Italy that you?
Not
Nah,
really.
nah. Okay. Um, I just would be kind of curious to hear you and your daughter playing. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get to play. We got to play a lot at home, but we didn't. We didn't record any of that. And
Yeah.
then she had one gig, but it was too late at night for me. I can't go out at at 9 o'clock and come home at 2.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Not my
Chris,
not my
Chris, how
cup of
did you
tea
start
anymore.
playing banjo?
What's
Yeah.
that?
How did you start playing banjo?
I started playing banjo in order to get the job at Your Father's Mustache. I was one of those 1960s folk music guys. I started college at Fordham in 1964, and I walked all over campus with my guitar. I played every minute that I could get. We had a little coffee house that we um, used to all play at, and some people, guys would get together and they would sounded just like the Limelighters, and some would form a trio like Peter, Paul, and Mary, and they did those harmonies and whatnot. And I was sort of the Cisco Houston, Woody Guthrie guy, just um, rambling around and strumming my guitar and singing about the blues and stuff like that. Anyway, I loved it. I loved folk music, but I needed to get a job at the end of my sophomore year because I couldn't afford to stay up at Fordham anymore. So the guys told me, "Why don't you come down with us? We're waiters. We've got jobs as waiters at Your Father's Mustache." I said, "What the heck is that?" And they said, "It's a nightclub down in the village." And so I said, "Sure." They said, "You could make like $35 a night," and that was like monumental money for
Yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah. In the '60s, you bet.
Yeah. my room cost $7 a week, so that would have been 5 weeks that I could make up. Uh, yeah, 5 weeks with one night getting tips. So
Man. Yeah.
so I went down, and unfortunately, they did not need any waiters. So I said, sorry, I really need a job. And he said, well, if you could play the banjo, you could have a job tonight.
Mhm.
And I said, oh yeah, well, I do play the banjo.
Oh, the banjo. Why didn't you mention that?
Why didn't you mention that? The guy's
Was it
name is
good?
Keith Ramsdell, and we've seen pictures of him. He was just like gigantic Nordic Viking type of guy,
Mhm.
but a sweet man, very sweet and sympathetic. And he says, "Well, go up on stage and let's see what you got." And I said, "Well, I didn't bring my banjo." and and he says, "Oh, they have extras." And I'm So I went up on stage, and Ron Bizel was playing lead banjo. That's the only, and I think Joe Terra was on that night.
Bazel was great.
And Bizel was a terrific player, but he played the crowd, so he didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just, every time he would move his hand up and down, I would look and see what he was doing. I would move my hand the same, but I didn't touch the pick to the strings, because I didn't form any chords. And so at the end of the set, Keith says to Ron Bizel, he says, well, so how's the kid? And Ron Bizel says, yep, yep. Mm-hmm. Which is all Ron Bizel, I found out later, ever said. He was just an agreeable kind of guy.
Yeah.
So Keith says, "All right, come in tomorrow, and you'll start getting paid. And what we want you to do is to learn the sets, and we'll give you a list of the song sets, and as they're playing them, you mark it off and get familiar with it." So I did that. In the meantime, I went home, and I had this memory in the back of my brain about my father having a banjo. And it was some long family story having to do with his older brother and a girlfriend who gave it to his older brother as a birthday present. And he didn't like the girl, so he just put the banjo in the closet somewhere. And then years later, he gave the banjo to his other brother, George. And then George gave it to my father. And my father didn't play anything. He loved music. So he puts it under his bed. And darn if it wasn't still sitting there with the broken head. The head was split. The strings are dangling down into the belly of the banjo. And so I drove the banjo out to a place on Long Island that was a music store that I knew. And guy was like, holy smoke. He said, this is a brand new banjo. I said, don't look at me. I said, he said, where did you get this? I said, it's from in the family and everything. He says, this thing is worth a fortune. He says, I'll buy it from you. I said, no, it's broken. And he says, I just have to put another head and strings on it. You're good.
Yeah.
Because it had never been played.
Wow.
And that's the banjo you've always seen me with, because I don't play any other banjo. That's it.
That's your tenor banjo you still carry, huh? Wow.
Yep.
It's a pretty banjo. It's hard to believe it just sat around all that time.
Epiphone recording a banjo. I know nothing about banjos except that I know that I have that one, and it plays like crazy.
Yeah.
Projects a lot of sound, and me and Mel Bay got to be best friends, and I learned all the chords in the Mel Bay chord book, tenor banjo chords, and that's been it.
Wow.
Yeah, you play. I mean, of course, I didn't know you back then, but I've always enjoyed your banjo playing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the people that I played with was so good, and it was easy to learn from guys like Ron Bizel in terms of picking songs and the strumming and all of that stuff. So, and I played with George French in Philadelphia, and if I had any questions, I just ask him, why did we do this? Why didn't you go there? And he would explain it. So it was great. And then
It's great. I was looking for Jeff. Jeff talked about he was just walking by the mustache.
Yeah.
With his banjo, and Joel saw him and asked him to come in, and I don't think Jeff was up on it too much either. But
No, no, no. I don't know that it was even his banjo, or
yeah,
if it was, he had just gotten it from somebody or something. It was all new to him. Walked in and got a job.
Most of the banjo players I knew from the Mustache started off as a waiter.
You got to skip waitering anyway, huh, Chris?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Barry started as a waiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing in a lot of the clubs.
Yeah. I was trying to learn when I was there, but I had no intention of staying there once I got out of college. But Les Muscat, my dad bought me a little 4-string jazz banjo, not a good one, but I was tuning it the way Les tuned his, but then I found out, and I was struggling with it because I had been playing guitar for many years, and then I found out after Barry gets back, oh, you can tune it like the first 4 strings of a guitar. And what? It would have saved me a hell of a lot of time,
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. Are there certain things that are easier to do, tuning it to like da 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 da, rather than
Well, the sound is the main thing.
right.
Different tunings sound differently, but you can do different things with different tunings.
I'm sorry, that's my phone in the back. I'm sorry. Let me go kill it. All right.
Yeah, I always use just the standard tenor tuning because that's the way it was set up by that music store back in 1966. It was when I first got that banjo and got my first job at the Mustache.
And my first band was tuned like a ukulele, guitar tuning.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed with it. That's when I first picked it up. That's what it was. It was tuned like that. Would have been tenor, I would have played tenor.
Right.
Well, I don't know if this is the segment where Jeff talks about it, but here's a little piece of Jeff. Okay, come on, where are you? Ah, shit. Sorry, I screwed up. I'm coming. I'm trying.
That's okay.
Take your time, Tom. We won't tell. There.
I live in independent living
Can you hear that?
where the average age
Good.
is 112. I'm considered young and healthy because I can breathe.
The people I live in a condominium, and as soon as my wife died, the HOA come up and they said, we just wanted to warn you, you're now considered a dangerous breed. I said, what do you mean? They said, you can see, you have keys to a car, and you have money. Everyone's going to be after you. And sure enough, people started bringing me cake and coffee and stuff. And I'd never seen these women before.
It's the mustache, John.
My son is saying to me, what's going on? I said, I don't know. He said, well, ask him to make, he's giving me orders to give him to make things because they're coming in and they're saying, anything you want, Mike, you just tell your father, he'll come and tell me. I said, Michael, you want it? You go tell her.
Now, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Nah.
Enjoy it. When my first wife died,
Hey, Chris.
I said, this is it. I'm finished. I'm finished. And all of a sudden I realized, bring on the women. Because if I don't meet a woman, I'm done. And for a year, John, they were showing up. Some I wasn't even sure I knew. And it was the worst, absolute worst. I didn't think I could have a date as bad as I did. And then I met Lynn, and that was, son of a bitch, 40 years ago.
Cool.
And I knew her for 2 weeks. before I asked her to marry me.
So you
Why'd
were
you wait
about-
so
2
long?
weeks.
so
2
that was
weeks.
when you were 38 at the time, right?
No, I was. Hold it.
They
Yeah.
call him Jeff Loverboy.
Yes, I was
Loverboy.
39. I was 39, and I flew to New York to see my mother, who at that time I think was 112. Yeah, Pearl. And I said, Mom, I don't understand this, but I met this girl 3 weeks ago, and I think I'm going to ask her to marry me. And my mother looked at me and said, what took you so long? Quick, when you got breath. When you got breath, ask her.
But you were 38 then when you did that, and the excitement.
39.
39. I'm 77. There is no excitement. What
Yep.
do I? A girl is just a woman without pants. That's all.
Woman without pants. Hey, Gim.
I know.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Yeah, we were just listening to Chris tell us how he got hired at the Mustache, and I think you told us recently, but how did you get hired as a banjo player, especially since you were the first one?
Yeah, it was in 1961, actually. I was in the Army, and Joel showed up at the house one time when I was at home for a weekend, and said, "I'm starting this club. Are you interested?" And I said, "Sure." And that was kind of the beginning. We actually played a few gigs then in '61, and the club opened in '62. And I went back to school in Boston conveniently, and you know the rest of it.
Did you go to school with Joel or something that you knew?
No, he went to Harvard Business School, and when we first met, he graduated, I think, in '61, or maybe even '60. But yeah, because in '61 he had been out to California to meet the guys at the Red Garter and learn the business, so to speak. And then when he came back, because he and I found each other in a cocktail party where a friend of mine had a girlfriend who knew him, and she threw a party, and we all happened to be there. So that's how it really got together. That's how it started with me.
Wow.
Kind of an accidental meeting with him, which he remembered, and then tracked me down.
But you actually were a banjo player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Now, Chris was saying he never knew how to play the banjo until he walked into the club and got hired.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Jeff was similar to that. He was carrying a banjo. Tom was trying to find the clip of it, and he said he ended up getting hired even though he didn't know how to play it, just because he had one. And then he threw that. Yes. Did you meet your wife at your father's mustache game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's another funny story. A girlfriend of ours, I should say, everybody in the band were from the Boston club. She was a Boston girl. Became a stewardess for United Airlines, and my wife and she and 3 others had completed their training out in Chicago and came to New York and showed up at the club one night. And because our friend from Boston knew us, and they were new in town, so they showed up to meet to see some guys they knew, and there they were. I remember being on the bandstand. They paraded through the door, and I said, "There's 5 beautiful women. I ought to be able to work with that." We met, and there you have it. We're still together 60 years later.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Bonnie and I just did 54, so we got a little ways to go. Catch up with you.
Yeah, this is our 60th this year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, probably gonna last.
It was like 55 years ago that I was working the door, and Emily, who's my wife now, came in. She was with her girlfriends, and they went to LSU, and there was a beer chugging contest that Roger was running, and Emily won, but she beat 8 guys. They held her arm up, and she threw up. So David, he doesn't remember, but I swear David grabbed her, put it over his shoulder, brought her out. And I'm on the street letting people in, charging $1 a piece. He sets her in front of me and says, "Do not let her back in." And she's like, "But my friends are in there." I said, "I can't help it." But the really strange thing is I met her one other time there. And then 5 years later, in a different city in Baton Rouge, I just knew her as Emily from Baton Rouge. I saw her in a shopping mall, in Bon Marché Mall, and I said, "Hey, you're Emily." She goes, "You're the bartender."
That's great.
6 months later, we were married.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. What are the odds?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Here's a picture of the old New York band. Well, one picture of the old New York band. Who all, let's say, it disappeared on me. I can't.
You got, start from the left, that's Joe Terra, and then with the hat on, Bob Adams.
Right.
I guess
The tuba player is Red Balaban.
Red Balaban. What's the band? Banasat? Is that Banasat? Who's the banjo player?
Alan Doxey.
Alan Doxey, that's right. And I can't, trombone player, I can't see.
I don't recognize him.
As a trombone player.
I don't recognize him.
Yeah.
Now Bob Adams, he didn't play the New York club a lot.
No, he didn't. Just time to time.
But he played it earlier, and when this picture was taken, but then right at the end, he played it for a few months because I took it over from him.
Okay.
He left the New York club, and I would say in September of '75, right after the New Orleans Mustache burnt down. But he was up there, and that's when I took over in September of '75 up there in New York. I took over from Bob, who, it was funny because Bob was my first band leader, because my first band really was a show band.
Sure.
I mean, I played a couple of nights in New Orleans, but my first band was the show band, and Bob was the leader. So he kind of brought me through the ropes.
Well, again, what years did you play? Were you in the New York club most of the time, or?
No, Boston 62 to 64, then the second half of 64 through 69 in New York.
Okay.
Plus, you did Cape Cod too.
Oh yeah, Cape Cod, and I was in New Orleans a couple of times, and never made Chicago, never made Denver, made Philadelphia, made the Jersey Shore irregularly, but I was down there many times.
Was New Orleans just for Mardi Gras, or were you there for?
Just for Mardi Gras, yeah. Joel flew us all down.
Yeah.
He did that till the end.
Yeah.
Well, here's Rick, and this is my wife to the right.
Notice that smile.
Yeah. Rick was the hot one. All the girls like to be around Rick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He was in law school at the time.
Yeah. Tulane.
And he worked a different kind of bar at the club. Yeah.
Is that Rex? That's it, other guy.
Yeah, Rex Karger.
Rex Karger. Whatever happened to him?
Don't know.
Well, he got a master's degree in psychology, I think.
Oh.
And that's me playing the banjo behind you, Rick.
Oh yeah,
Maynard.
you can tell that, huh?
But because I was playing my Janie with that see the little thing by the bridge?
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm looking at the banjo live right now. It's right in front of me. That same banjo. It's right in front of me, 2 feet from me. But that banjo, yeah. that little mute that Ivan used to put on his banjos.
That's the one.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's Maynard next to, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad he was able to join us once. I wish you could have joined more times.
It sounded like he was interested in getting back on.
Yeah,
I wish he could.
I wish he could. Yeah.
I don't know. When Brian came to New Orleans, she wanted Maynard's phone number, and Barry gave it to her. And I think she was supposed to call Maynard and do an interview with him too, but I don't know if that ever happened. Do you remember when you gave?
I remember that. I don't know if she called him.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
She should have interviewed. I mean, she should have interviewed Gim. Gim, did she ever call you?
No, not that I recall. I talked with her at the memorial service, and I remember
Yeah.
what the heck.
Because you would have a lot to. I mean, all my stories are the later years. It's
Yeah.
the later half. Yours is the early half.
You know, we told her like Gim for sure, and of course Roger, since he worked at just about every club. You know,
Sure
so-
did.
but I don't really know what direction she was going with it. Yeah.
Well, you know, she came from a father who doesn't wear shoes, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of shoeless Joe.
Yeah. Jackie Gleason.
at least she had clothes on for this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did
The,
he
the
go
shoeless
there?
look. The shoeless look was very popular.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can you imagine being a girl like Brian, who's fairly intelligent for what I could see, and good
Oh, yeah.
looking too, but to find out about a subculture that her dad was the head of that hadn't existed in 50 years, you know, way before she was born. I mean, think of that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, she comes to hanging around us, you know, and at that reunion in New Orleans, and finds there was a whole subculture, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's Barry's cave there. Is that the banjo you're talking about?
That's it. Yeah, that's the same banjo, the Janie.
Yeah.
Appearing nightly. How the hell did you get that sign?
That came out of the club after the fire. It didn't burn.
Oh, after the fire. Okay, sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, I went in there. I was in there the next morning.
Well, smart old you. That's a good job.
How you like that sign? That's neat. I'm looking at it live right now. You know, where I'm sitting. You know, that's one of my pride and joys.
I'll bet you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll bet you.
When Brian came to my house to interview Mike and I brought her right out here and showed her that sign. She couldn't get over it.
Of course. That's a great sign.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you showed off your banjo collection too. In fact, Chris ended up using one of Barry's banjos, and
Mike
did
did
too. Yeah, yeah.
But Chris, you play tenor. Did you retune it, or did Barry have one?
I had a tenor.
Oh, do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you, ambidextrous?
No, I used to do was a tenor banjo
Oh.
that my dad, before my dad died,
Uh-huh.
one of our hobbies, he liked to work on banjos, my dad.
Oh, cool.
He didn't play much. He played a few chords, not much, but he liked working on them. So when I could find an old banjo that needed work or something, you know, in bad shape, I'd pick it up and we would sit in his carport and work on banjos. And that was the last years before that's what we did together.
That's nice.
So that banjo that Chris played, that was a tenor banjo, and we set it up as a tenor, put strings on as a tenor. And Chris, you did that with you, huh?
It was fine. It worked great. Yeah.
Good. Terrific.
Wow.
Nobody ever, since we fixed it up, nobody ever played it. Nobody ever played it. Sat in the garage for years.
Yeah, you said you took your sweet time restringing the banjos too, huh?
Say what?
You said it took you a lot of time to restring the banjos too.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't restring Chris's. That's the way it was. I just put strings in there. The one Mike played, I restrung them, and the one I played.
Yeah, here's an old photo. This was the the club we talk about that was right across the street
Right
from
across the street.
Yeah.
Silver Frolics. Yeah.
427. We're 426. That was
Right.
all female impersonators.
Really?
And,
Yeah.
yeah, they would come into the club sometimes on ladies' night. You know, we would go.
Remember that little barker across the street? He said, "Pay attention, pay attention. Look, come on right in." He said, "Hecker Mo Decker, they all got a pecker."
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And
All
sometimes
female-
it wouldn't be open, and there'd be somebody outside changing from a guy to a girl, putting the makeup on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Renee Lavon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the guys looked better than most of the strippers on Bourbon Street.
Mhm.
Eh,
Well, there was a stripper on Bourbon Street, of course, named Sandra Sexton.
Oh yeah.
And I did not know that was a guy until I started working at the club. Good
Oh, yeah.
looking, you know. And one of my first times working the door out there, I said hello, and he said, "Hi there." I said, "Oh, okay."
I didn't know Sandra
It wasn't the
Sexton.
B. Arthur kind of high there either. Yeah. Anyway,
Remember the Silver Frolics, all female impersonators. They come in, like I say, sometimes.
this is for the New Orleans guys. I just read in the paper today that Checkpoint Charlie's is closed.
Closing down. Yeah.
Yeah, it was right on Decatur and Esplanade or Elysian Fields is in that area.
There's a bar room where you could do your laundry.
Yeah, it was open 24 hours a day, bar room / laundry, and they played music there too. You know,
Really?
and it was named Checkpoint Charlie after the Cold War checkpoint when you wanted to get from the
Sure.
communist countries into the.
That was a crossover point between the Germanys, yeah.
But the
But this
thing
was
is, that
about-
venue lasted for years. It's probably been there for 30 years, huh?
Been
Oh,
there
about
for
100 years.
long time.
It's been
Maybe
there a
longer
long.
than that. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
it's
it's
been
finally closing. But it's
Yeah.
quite a venue. Nightclub, bar room, laundromat.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'd let you guys be interested. Who are from here? It's kind of an old.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those kind of things like the Hummingbird Grill and things like that the people know here, but tourists probably didn't go in there very much.
Yeah, but I also like the Rockin' Bowl where you go in and eat dinner. There's a band playing and you go bowling.
Yeah. Well, John Blanchard, I went to high school with him. He bought it. It was just a regular bowling alley at first, and then he turned it into a venue where they play music and they have parties there too.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been for years.
Yeah. Been there for years.
Well, here's a video of John talking about Christine.
Oh, jeez.
Well, this should be good.
From the Chicago band. She came to New York, and that's when she met Bob Adams, and her and Bob were together. I left in '75, and they were still together. But
Now, is Bob Adams the one who everybody thought Christine's name was "God damn it, Christine"?
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one. She on the stage in Calgary. She went up to him, and she put down her horn. She went up to him, and he looked at her, and she socked him right square in the jaw and knocked him off the stage. And then the next thing I know, she gives me a call. It's like 11 o'clock New York time. She calls me and she says, "John, I'm coming home." And so I'm saying, what do you mean you're coming home? Something happened to the job? Did anything go wrong? She says, "No." She says, "I just knocked out Bob." I said, "You're kidding me." She said, "No." I said, "All right, you better come home before he gets home. Go ahead, come back home."
Did
But,
she say what he did that make her want to punch him?
I know I'm privy to a lot of things that went on that I doesn't matter, but he deserved everything he got. I mean, if she was my daughter, I would have killed him.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I would have killed him if she was my daughter. But that's the way, and she would always stand up for him. So it wasn't my job to stand up for her. I tell her, I'll give you a job. You don't have to work with them. I'll work with someone else. She said, no, I want to work with them. So I said, fine.
Hmm.
So it was just one of those things that every time he'd tell us something, she would try to make a suggestion, but he couldn't take suggestions. And I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. And boy, he did some beautiful things, I'll tell you.
So is this Christine?
That's Christine with the horn. Yep.
Yep.
There's Bob, Christine, Benu. I can't tell who that's on the tuba, and that's Hoyt, I think, on the on the all the way on the left. Hoyt Corey.
Yeah.
Is that him? That's who he looks like. Yeah, Hoyt Corey. Yeah, Hoyt Corey. His name Hoyt. I always wondered, where do you get a name like Hoyt? He said, it's a family name. I said, a family name? He said, yeah. He says, my father was saved during the war by a guy named Hoyt. And he says, I got stuck with the name.
So the following summer, I played with Bob and Christine in Canada. All right. The following summer, after the one he was talking about, and Murata flew to Canada to be with us the whole gig because he wanted to be the referee in case he was going to punch Bob again.
Hey, Ira.
Bob and Christine.
Hello, Ira.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murata came and spent the week in Canada with us. He was a word duking it out again.
Funny.
What'd you say, Ira?
Hey, everybody.
Oh.
We got to get more people in here.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I was counting a few minutes ago when you were playing the one with Jeff talking. There was 13 people on the Zoom back then.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
We used to fill it up, man.
Of course,
But three of them are dead.
three of them are dead.
Three of them are dead, so.
Three of them are dead, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what I got here.
Yeah. Kent's not here today. Like,
Just a couple. Let's see this shot. It's just a still frame from when we did the 50th reunion.
Mhm.
That's Carnegie.
Yeah, it's just the washboard I was interested in because it was to Buddy Boy Franny from Buddy Boy, huh?
That's Joe Terra's washboard.
Yeah,
I think so.
He must have gave it to Franny, and it was dated October 3rd, 1989.
That's when the Red Garter went under.
Yeah.
Not went under, but they changed the venue.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? It would have gone on longer, but Jimmy Kane, who was the owner of the Red Garter over there in Wildwood, his sons grew up, and he wanted to give the clubs. He made all his money with the Red Garter, a lot of money. And his sons want to make it into a disco, so they made it into a discotheque, but that was 89.
Wow.
So the Mustache would have gone longer than they all say. I mean, the Red Garter went till that's the date right there.
Jimmy Kane owned all that property too, I think.
Yeah.
He owned that whole block.
But that's why they closed the Red Garter, not for lack of people. You know that, Ira.
Yeah, he was busy every night.
Yeah. He closed because his son wanted to change it, into something else. That's all.
Yeah.
But people say that the Mustache closed because the type of music went out, Doodle was out, and all this shit. Long way from Tipperary was. I don't believe that. I believe the Mustache would have gone longer if left alone. Yeah, I believe that because look at the Red Garter.
And we'd all still be working there.
Yeah. Well, you remember what Maynard said, huh? He says it's a good thing the Mustache burned down because if it wouldn't have, we'd all be dead by now.
Yeah.
Does that Red Garter operate only in the summertime, or is it a year-round club?
Only in the summertime. Yeah.
Okay.
But they would extend the summer. They would start at Memorial Day and start doing some long weekends.
Okay.
Like 4th of July, they crank it into 7 nights a week, 2 bands a night. You know,
Yeah.
and Labor Day they go down to 1 band, and then once September was over, that's when they closed it down. So they extend them, you know.
Mhm. Mm.
But you never saw so many people at the Jersey Shore down in
Oh,
Wood. It was amazing. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Paris here to back me up because nobody gave me that to say that the club held 700 people. The New Orleans club had full room was 400 people, full room, and the Red Garter up at Wildwood 700 people. It was packed every night with a line,
Wow.
with a line outside.
every night. And Jimmy Kane would run 2 bands a night. It was continuous music,
Hmm.
2 full bands. It was amazing. It was unbelievable, actually.
Well, Tom, did you say that Roger sent you some stuff?
Yeah, it's stuff I can show it to you. I had some music here too, if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And let me put that. This is the reunion. Let me put that up, and I'll find Roger's stuff.
Is that it? Geez, I hope that's it. Oh my God, there's one more. New Orleans!
Everybody clap your hands now. Everybody say, oh yeah! Oh yeah! Can't see the pictures.
Yeah.
That's not moving.
Okay, you
We
can't
couldn't see the
it?
pictures. We could hear it, but the pictures were frozen.
Right.
Yeah.
And the sound for me was screwed up. So
Okay,
it
well,
was,
look at that
it's
one.
coming through intermittently. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no, not your fault.
The sound was coming good on mine, just the picture was frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
Well, here's what what Roger sent.
Uh-huh.
For the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, but it was in 2011, wasn't it?
Right.
Well, he got the date wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the right date up here, right? But down
Yeah.
here, it's not.
Wonder who put that together. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, the bottom font doesn't match anything else, so I don't know what that was. Somebody might have just did that. Yeah.
And then he also had, which this one I've never seen before, Dixieland.
I never saw that. I don't remember 35 cents either. This must have been in the 60s, early 60s.
At the famous Nick's Tradition, jazz from
Yeah.
era. Yeah.
Nick's was a great Dixieland hall for years. Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw that one. 4:30 to 9 p.m. That's Sunday jazz.
Sunday.
Yeah, that was Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And the Southampton band was there for a while. And then David Bargeron put a band in there for a year or so. And then after that, Red Balaban took it over. And ran into
Alabama and Cats.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if this went 4:30 till 9, did the mustache open at 9 o'clock? Or did that was the end of the day?
Oh no, then we went to the regular mustache routine.
Oh, at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was doing the Sunday night after that, so I'd go in and listen to the band for an hour or so, and then Balaban was playing bass in that band, and he played tuba with me in the evening.
Sometimes we'd go to do the Ed Sullivan warm up at 7 o'clock, I think, something like that.
Early, yeah, even earlier, I think.
Yeah, and then we would go from there and go back to the club, and you guys were getting ready to go back to the mustache format.
Yeah, we did Sunday afternoon jazz a little while I was there. Were you there, Rick? When
Yeah.
when you did that? Yeah, because it would
Just
be
for a while, yeah.
and just I guess it was making use of the club before the club was open, and it was basically just anybody passing by because I don't think they even promoted or advertised it. You just would kind of hear. It was Bourbon Street. You'd be walking down the street, you hear jazz. You go, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, but I remember it was kind of mellow and it was traditional jazz, not the mustache sing along stuff. Do you recall that, Barry?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sunday afternoon jazz thing was a tradition they started in San Francisco. So when Joel went out there to get his training, he picked up that tidbit and brought it back. And we did it in Boston for a while too.
And then here's the real picture that which we had, but Roger sent this.
Hmm.
I guess it must have been a parade or something, huh?
That was the Macy's parade.
Everybody looks sharp. I guess it's the same washboard rig that he autographed for Franny, huh?
Yeah.
The Genostapher.
The Genostapher, right.
It's Genostapher. Is that DeFeo on the trombone?
That's Neil DeFeo was a boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a lady above?
Between the two of them, there's a girl.
Who was that behind Terra?
I can't tell who that is. I don't recognize her.
I don't think it's Sue Mutzinger. No, I don't think
was
so.
early on. This was early on.
Oh
Yeah.
Anybody know the banjo player in the foreground?
That's Buzzy.
Oh,
Sure.
that's Buzzy? Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think we might have showed this one before. Let me see if I can get to it. This was the where the mustache
Oh yeah.
was the actual dream room
Hmm.
when it was the dream room.
Dick Contino, holy sheesh. Oof.
Patera and Dick Contino playing. Yeah.
Santo Pecora.
Yeah, Butera.
Sam Butero was quite a saxophone player.
Yeah. But it says Louis Prima presents. I don't know. Did Louis Prima run the club for a while, or was
No,
it?
Louis Prim was the band leader, and Sam Butero was his featured saxophone player.
Okay.
He played a big part on a lot of the recordings that Prima did.
Mhm.
When I hear the word Dick Contino, I think of Lady of Spain. Boy,
Well, how can you think I'm an accordion?
he played that song to death. I'll tell you.
That's a great picture.
Here's Joe
Ira,
Terry.
you were the manager of the club when that picture was taken.
I remember that picture.
The last 4 full-time band members of the Mustache.
That's right.
So
So it had to be around what, 75?
That was January of 75.
So we got you to blame.
76.
So
76.
we
Right.
got you to blame for the closing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They called me the Grim Reaper everywhere I went. It burned down and closed.
It seems like did we ever play Lady of Spain at the Mustache? It
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like Yeah,
Once in a
Yeah,
while.
all the time.
and we always change the words. I remember.
Yeah.
And Gim, you'll notice I'm playing that Janie banjo again. See it?
My goodness, you sure are. Who's the trombone player in there?
That's H.
That's
Oh,
Harold
it is?
Johnson.
It
Harold
is?
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, really? Oh, my.
Yeah, H has been on a couple times. More than a couple times, huh? Yeah.
He's still active. I see posts from him once in a while.
He's very active.
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah, he was on 6 months ago on Zoom.
Right. He doesn't come on that often. He was on, I think, 2 or 3 times in the last few years.
But that band right there, that was a fun band. I enjoyed it. I went up there to work with those guys. Bob Adams was the leader before me. Bob split in like September of '75, and I came in for the last 4 or 5 months of the Mustache.
Yeah.
And playing with those guys, that was a fun band.
I'll bet it was.
How did you find out that y'all were closing? Did somebody come in and say next week?
I heard it from Ira, I guess. I think Ira heard it and told him.
What about the club closing?
Yeah.
I think Ronnie, Sater, and Joel said something like, we got to, close it up. Then we stayed open one more week after that, I think, after they gave the initial date.
Well, I left somewhere in the third week of January, and that was the official closing, but then y'all open on weekends for a week or two after that.
Right, that was it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Did Danny leave with you, Barry?
Danny did not leave with me. He stayed up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Danny was writing music and doing things with some people up on Broadway, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was with Raul Pentabois and Buster Davis, all those people.
Right.
Anyway, I just didn't know if they had a meeting or if we discuss anything, or they just kind of told
No,
everybody.
that didn't happen. We were just told, hey, the club was talking to Tara about it. So what are you going to do? I don't know. Because Tara, he didn't leave that little area, Sheridan Square area. He didn't leave it.
The only time we left it was when we went up to Midtown to see Sal.
That's right. What was the name of that room? Bill's Gay Night.
Bill's Gay 90s.
Oh, sure. Bill's Gay 90s, right?
It was a great place.
Did y'all do or say anything special on that last night that you realized this was it?
Shit, no.
No, Barry wasn't there for the last night.
I was there the last of regular nights, and then once it closed, then y'all opened up for weekends for a week or two after that.
At the most, it was 2 weeks. At the most.
Yeah. And I'm sure you hired a banjo player somewhere from up there,
Probably Banjo Dan.
Yeah.
Did he sober up for the job?
Banjo Dan McCall.
Remember him well.
He lived, I think, on Grove Street.
On Grove Street, right across from Arthur's.
That's it. Exactly right.
Arthur's and
Marie's Hideaway.
We used to shoot pool.
Yeah.
Marie's Crisis. Marie's Crisis. Yeah.
Marie's Crisis. And
well, let me tell you what. Let me tell you about Marie's Crisis. So, for those of you from New Orleans, Marie's Crisis was like a big popular gay bar down in the village.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very popular, very crowded. It's been there for years. And we'd play the Mustache, and Eddie Davis would come in when the Mustache would close. It'd be Eddie Davis, myself, and Danny, and maybe a horn player, maybe like Johnny Gill or somebody would do. And we'd go across the street to Marie's Crisis and play for the gays dancing. And Eddie Davis knew all those show tunes. He could sing all the show tunes. So we played the show tunes. We made more money playing for tips in the gay bar, going downstairs in the gay bar. We made a Mustache. That's a true story.
That was across the street from the bar we used to shoot pool in called George Hertz.
Yeah. The George O.
Remember
Hurt,
that?
yeah. George O. Hurt, right.
Yeah. And then next door to it was a deli called the Gallery. Remember that, Kim?
very well.
Yeah, gallery was a good place.
One night, Danny and I were walking home from the club, which is a block away, a block and a half. And we walking right past Arthur's, and somebody mugged Danny. I was
Oof.
with him, but he mugged Danny. And hit
Really?
Danny. Yeah, and all that. And you know who come out and ran him away? The owner of Arthur's, his name was Vinny. The owner of Arthur's come out there and ran the muggers away. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah. I was there. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard that story before. Yeah. Was Danny carrying his tuba or anything? He just was.
I can't remember all those details.
Yeah. I remember one time you accused Danny of.
That was 75, and we no doubt drunk, you know.
Yeah, I remember the story that when you fell out of a tree and busted yourself up, and you accused Danny of doing it to you.
Yeah.
When you went to the ER.
I had dinner. Dottie and I had dinner with Danny and his little girlfriend the other night, this past week.
Mhm.
We had a nice time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I heard Danny's got a new girlfriend. She's a nice looking gal too. Very nice.
Really? He always had a girlfriend.
And the thing is, you know who introduced them? Banu. Banu introduced
Really?
Oh, really?
to Danny. Yeah, it's a small world, man. It really
What
is.
happened to the last one that he was in Connecticut with, Barry?
He I don't know. I don't
Just
know.
didn't work
That's not
out,
my
I
business.
guess.
That's not my business.
Well, it must be serious because I had dinner with them a couple of weeks ago, and they're talking about Danny's rents up and her rents up, renting an apartment together.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Well, we had dinner with them the other night, and they seemed pretty friendly.
Yeah, no, she's a singer. She's a musician too. She's a singer, and they were at the class that Banu does for performers, and Danny helps out, and that's where she was a student, and that's where they got to meet each other.
She
I
seems
do
real
go
nice.
to jazz camp every year.
Yeah.
I go to a jazz camp. And she
Right.
gets a lot of people,
Oh, yeah.
mostly adults, coming in to try to learn about jazz. They're amateur people, and Danny's on the I don't know, faculty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Chris, you met Pam
Tuba player.
at the reunion, our little last thing we did. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Well, I got one little clip, just a quick one from a short clip from the last concert that they did. Let me just spin this one. It's not too long. Let's see if it will come up. There it is.
We could do that. Let's do this one first. Here's a song called "Nothing Could Be Finer Than to Be in Carolina."
That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was good.
Yeah, I was kind of tickled me because the whole time I worked at the Mustache, I knew that y'all did the where you slowed it down and changed keys and such. But it's the first time I ever heard anybody yell it out because Mike just said, "Change key."
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a standard key that y'all change to on these things, or you just
Usually it's C to E flat. That's all.
Yes.
okay? I'm just curious. Yeah. Anyway, that was a lot of fun.
Was.
The fact that the Mustache, I don't think we've ever played Carolina more than any other key but C and E flat.
There's New Orleans for you.
That's the one from last week. That was the first time
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
My goodness.
Oh, I see that place Papa Joe's on the left. I remember that.
Yeah, a few feet further to the left or down was the Silver Frolics when we had the picture a little while ago.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's a picture of the Mustache. Last week, the first time I saw that picture.
Right.
Me too.
And I don't think that's Mardi Gras.
No, because everybody had too many clothes on.
Yeah.
No.
No beads and
nobody's on the balcony.
Yeah, just a bunch of chairs. So they must have been doing something upstairs. I don't know.
another slow Saturday night.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, wasn't there a roof on the balcony?
No.
No.
Okay.
No. But there was a balcony that's higher next to us because we talked about that because Roger was on the
Oh,
balcony.
yeah. The one to the left.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Rizzo's next door. The thing is, you kind of get spoiled for it, but I grew up going down to the quarter. You didn't drive from place to place. You just got someplace that was good, and within, a few hundred yards, you can go to 10 different bars or restaurants.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Well, I guess I'll see you guys
Next week is fun.
Holy Thursday, right?
Same time, same
Thursday.
place, same day, brother.
Yeah.
Thursday is the
All right.
I'll see
April
you
2nd.
next Thursday.
Everybody have a good week. Take care and all
Have a
that.
good
care,
week.
guys.
Thank
Thursday.
you, guys.
long, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Billy, Tom,
See you later.
thank you. We'll see
if
you
we
on
can
next
all-
week.
See if we
Bye-bye.
can
You're back.
rustle up a couple more people. Okay.
Yeah.